The Integra Type R was and still is one of the most legendary JDM icons ever. So you could say when Honda/Acura decided to bring back the Integra nameplate to the United States, one could say I got a little curious as to what they might offer us in the United States. So fast forward nearly 3 decades later, and Acura revives the Integra, and not with the Integra Type R badge, but rather for some reason the Type S, at least in North America. And while this new Integra Type S isn't as raw or lightweight as its older brother, the Integra Type R, it does carry some of the same DNA. A driver-focused front-wheel drive car that offers balance, precision, and engagement over outright power or any of that fancy technology stuff. And after experiencing this car for about 3 months and over 5,000 miles, I have a lot of thoughts about this car, but one of the main thoughts is I generally feel like something is wrong here. So my name is John with Blackbird Productions, and today I'll be reviewing this 2024/2025 Acura Integra Type S to figure out what exactly is going on with Acura/Honda, specifically with this car. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and more importantly, enjoy the video.
So rolls a riot van and sparks excitement in the boys, but the policemen look annoyed. Perhaps these are ones they should avoid. Got a chase last night from men with truncheons dressed in hats. They didn't do that much wrong, still ran away though for the laugh, just for the laugh. And please just stop talking, 'cause they won't find us if you do. Oh, those silly boys in blue, well, they won't catch me and you.
You know, this isn't my first Acura Integra. In fact, back in 2014, right after high school, my parents gifted me a 1995 Acura Integra, and that car definitely contributed to my passion for cars. Fast forward to today, after owning everything from a BMW i8 to a 987 Boxster S, to my previous vehicle, the 2024 Model 3 Performance, I felt this urge to just go back to my roots. And let me tell you, the new Integra Type S is pure JDM nostalgia. And if you've ever dreamed of owning one of those 90s legends like the Integra Type R or the Nissan 300ZX, this is the closest thing you'll ever get to reliving that experience in 2025. Under the hood, the Type S runs the same 2-liter turbocharged inline-4 you'll find in the Civic Type R. It's good for 320 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, all sent exclusively through a very solid and notchy 6-speed manual transmission. No automatic option is offered here, and that honestly is just the way it should be for a car of this stature. Now, while the power figures might not blow anyone away on paper, the tuning potential here is where things get interesting. The turbo setup is solid, and with just a few bolt-ons, you can easily open this car up. One of the easiest and most rewarding mods is upgrading the air intake. I went with a matte carbon fiber air intake from PRO Motorsports, which is suggested to add 10 to 20 horsepower, and the moment you hear that turbo spool and induction noise, it's like being transported straight back into the golden era of JDM. Take a listen. Now, despite the intoxicating sounds this car makes from the turbo, it does have some pretty noticeable turbo lag, which makes getting off the line quickly a bit of a chore in this car. But if you decide to apply a tune to the ECU, I'm sure you can address that along with many other annoyances that I'm going to be talking about throughout this review. That also include rev hang, which is also a big problem with this car. But I digress for now. When it comes to handling, the Integra Type S is basically the Civic Type R's more grown-up twin, just as wild, but with a little bit more manners. Acura fine-tuned the suspension and added adaptive dampers with 3 settings: Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. Personally, Comfort and Sport Plus are the highlights. Comfort soaks up the road while Sport Plus tightens everything up, and also throws in those addictive bangs and pops from the exhaust. And if you're curious what that sounds like, here's a clip.
Go.
Go?
Yeah.
You can also build an individual mode that also has its own dedicated button, and it's actually in the center control stack. This feature allows you to mix and match suspension, steering, and exhaust settings. I personally use this when I want to just be a little bit unhinged. But here's the thing, even with all this technology and tuning, it still feels unmistakably Honda. And that's both a strength in this car, and it also surprised me. In terms of wheels and tires, it should look familiar if you're coming from any other JDM performance car. This Integra Type S comes with 19-inch alloy wheels finished in this gray color. They called it something, but I completely forgot what it was. I think it was like shark gray or something. But you can also option them in this copper color, which I think is pretty cool. The tires themselves are pretty sticky and pair great with these factory Brembo brakes, giving this car some serious stopping power. The feedback of these brakes also feel notably good and not as electronic as some other performance cars I've driven. The overall weight of the Type S, being that it's just shy of 3,200 pounds, might also contribute to this overly responsive brake feel, which I think is really, really nice in a car like this. Exterior wise, the Integra Type S is one aggressive looking car, especially once you add a few personal touches like these blacked out badges I had installed right after buying the car. I think it really completes that mean performance focused look Acura was going for with this car. And keeping with the whole Blackbird Productions theme, you know I had to go with another black car. So my Integra Type S is finished in what Acura calls majestic black pearl. And when the light hits this car, those metallic flakes absolutely pop. Overall, it's a gorgeous color that fits the Integra Type S personality perfectly. But when it comes to the actual paint quality, things start to get a little questionable here, especially for a brand that's supposed to represent Honda's luxury division, luxury with a fat asterisk, which is another theme that's going to be throughout this review. So let's address that elephant in the room, shall we? That is the paint. It's covered in orange peel, absolutely covered from head to toe. And I don't know what it is with cars that are being built in 2025, but my eye says that quality is completely on a downturn while price is either the same or it's actually going up in value in terms of just the average new car. Because every car I saw in the Acura dealership, the 4 hours I was there, had this orange peel. And quite frankly, if you're paying $60,000 to $70,000 to $80,000 for a brand new car, I think this is unacceptable. Honestly, I really do. Now, while researching for this video, I did also confirm that a number of owners had some of the similar issues that I had with my paint quality, just being that it's covered in orange peel. The other thing I found was some owners reported the paint being overly thin in some areas. And when your paint is thin in certain areas around the car, that makes it that much more susceptible to rock chip damage. And that is exactly why I decided to get my front end, including the mirror caps, wrapped in PPF, just for that extra bit of protection. But the reality is not every owner has $2,800 to drop on a quality PPF job. So Acura, honestly, I feel like you guys got to get it together here. Also, for those who have been following the channel for a little while, my previous car, the Model 3 Performance, also had its fair share of paint quality issues that are very similar to what's going on here. But the orange peel on that car was definitely not as bad as it is on this Acura. It's way more noticeable on the Acura, and it's small details like this that chip away figuratively and literally at the whole premium brand image Acura is trying to sell here in North America. And unfortunately, that questionable quality doesn't stop at the paint. It continues right into the bodywork, specifically with these rear fender flares. These are clearly just tacked on, and when you look inside the door jamb, whatever glue they've got holding these pieces on doesn't exactly inspire long-term confidence in the quality department. On the bright side, the addition of the fender flares paired with this aggressive diffuser make this car absolutely distinctive. But honestly, it's clear Acura is cutting corners here. And when the asking price is a little over $60,000 out of the door for a car like this, a Honda of all things, I feel these issues are simply unacceptable for a car at this price point. Okay, now it's time for the intermission. If you're enjoying the video so far, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing. I upload new reviews like this every month. Thank you in advance.
Just a facade with some old accolades, burning a hole inside the world of today.
Stepping inside the Integra Type S, and right away, you're hit with a wave of nostalgia. Everything in here screams old school Honda. But in 2025, I gotta be honest, I expected more given the price tag of this car. But don't get me wrong, this familiar Honda DNA gives the cabin a sense of purpose and simplicity. But when you start comparing it to stuff like the BMW M235i or the new Audi S3, the materials and tech in here just don't match the price tag Acura's asking for. And the features list is surprisingly bare bones for something wearing a luxury badge in North America. To start, there are no cooled seats, no memory seating in the Type S at least. Maybe the base model Integra for some reason. I don't know why it didn't make it here, but no memory seats, and even garage door opener buttons are MIA in this car, which is a basic form of luxury in a lot of non-luxury cars. Very, very odd choices Acura made here. Another weird thing is there actually isn't a way to open the trunk in the car. Like when you're sitting in the car, you actually have to either get out and open the trunk manually from the trunk popper, or you don't open the trunk at all because the remote that they give you doesn't even open the trunk. It just unlocks the trunk. And sometimes it does it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And it's a very, very odd choices Acura has made here with this specific car. There's also other weird choices Acura made in here, like the fact that the driver's seat is electronically adjusting, whereas the rear passenger seat is totally manual. And it's akin to something I had in my 2014 Civic, which was the second car I had. Same materials, same layouts. It's very, very old school for 2025 at a $60,000 price point. And honestly, it's little things like this that really make you question where your money's going, because based on features and quality alone, it just feels like this car just is not worth it. Additionally, some core components like this door grab just don't feel solid or confidence inspiring when closing the door. In fact, the entire panel housing your window switches and the door grab itself flexes every time you pull and shut the door. It's small quality control things like this that really make you think, was I scammed into buying this car? To make matters worse, the materials themselves don't exactly scream premium. You'll find hard plastics lining the doors, and that dash trim, it's literally just stick-on vinyl, pretending to be something more upscale. And honestly, Acura, what are we doing here? Where is the carbon fiber? Where are the carbon fiber accents and pieces? Where is all of the aluminum? I know you can do aluminum. You've used aluminum in other cars. So I don't know what's going on here. The interior isn't all bad. The leatherette material lining these seats and the armrests and also the upper dash area partially feels very solid. And the micro suede inserts on the front seats not only add some comfort, but also some grip. And you really, really want that when you're going through corners in this car. It's clear Acura wanted to give the Type S some sporty flair where it counts. The infotainment setup, while basic, is refreshingly straightforward. No endless menu diving, no weird touchpads, just a simple 9-inch touchscreen interface that gives you what you need. And yes, it supports both wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto right out of the box. The last thing I'll say here in terms of just the overall interior of the Integra Type S is that it's a hatchback. So that means it's very spacious. The rear cargo area is sizable enough for groceries or small to medium-sized items like suitcases and stuff like that, just making it more versatile than you'd expect from a sporty car like this. The rear seats also fold down, giving you more space when you need it, which adds to the practicality of this car, of being just an overall enthusiast-focused sports car. Now let's get into the cons of the Acura Integra Type S. And honestly, a lot of my issues have already been sprinkled throughout this review, so I'll keep this section quick. First up, the price. At $60,000 out of the door, the Type S feels way too expensive for what you're actually getting, and some of the competition offer better quality and more features for less money. So it seems like something's been lost here in translation at Acura. Second, the technology, especially the infotainment. It feels dated. Compared to other modern cars in 2025, some selling for far less than this one, the Type S just doesn't keep up in the technology department. And finally, the power. Out of the factory, it's underwhelming, I'm going to be honest. The GR Corolla, with its turbocharged 1.6 liter 3-cylinder, can rival this car's performance. Even though the Type S has an extra cylinder, that's the thing that blows my mind. It's an inline 4. For a car that looks and drives aggressively, the numbers just don't add up here, and it's underwhelming in my opinion. Now it's time for the rapid fire round. This segment includes my favorite feature, something I'd change, and advice for an aspiring owner. First off is the favorite feature. That is hands down the exhaust note. It's wild, aggressive, and reminds me of my old 987 Boxster S, but even more unhinged thanks to those bangs and pops. Something I'd change, either the price of the Integra Type S or its overall quality. Like I've been saying throughout this review, this car just is not worth what Acura is asking. And speaking of that asking price, my advice for future owners would be to negotiate the hell out of this car or buy used. I spent 4 hours at the dealership working out a deal on a certified pre-owned model. My car came out to be $49,500 with options included and only 2,400 miles on the clock, with my Tesla as a trade-in taking most of the principal value off this car. All right, let's give our Black Steed a rating here. And if you're curious, I look at stuff that actually matters to most buyers, and that includes quality, reliability, styling, handling, and of course, power. Now let's start with quality. And I have to be honest here, it's not the best in this specific Honda Acura product. And for that reason, I'll have to give this a 2 out of 5. Reliability, on the other hand, it is a Honda, and these things are supposed to last forever. So for that reason, I'll give this a 4 out of 5, at least for now, because there aren't really any totally up there in mileage examples available since this car is still very new. So 4 out of 5 for now. Next is styling. And honestly, I think this is a really cool looking car. And it's very aggressive compared to any other car that rivals it. So for that reason, I'm going to have to give this car a 4 out of 5 for styling. Very unique and distinctive. Next, let's talk about handling. Honestly, it handles very well. Very well. And I'll have to give it a 4 out of 5 for that reason. And I would even consider giving it an extra point, making this 5 out of 5 for handling. But this car just isn't really, at least to my standard, of quiet. Just being a luxury car and all, because luxury cars are supposed to be a little bit quiet. But I feel like in this car, it's different just because you want to be able to hear what the car is telling you, being that this car is only offered in manual. So I don't know, maybe I could lean towards a 5 out of 5, just looking past the whole it should be quiet and a very luxurious experience. You guys can let me know in the comments, but for now, I'll just leave this 4 out of 5. Okay, so power, gotta be honest, as I've been saying throughout this review, it has the potential to be a very powerful car. I've even seen people put big turbo kits in this car, making 600 horsepower. So the potential is definitely there, which tells me that The manufacturer, being that it's Acura/Honda, they also had the potential to give this car more power out of the factory. So for that reason, I'm going to have to give this car a 3 out of 5 for power. Average those ratings up, and my final rating stands at 3.4 out of 5 for the Acura Integra Type S. So that is my take on my little black steed here, being the Integra Type S. What it gets right, what it misses, and whether it's worth your money. At its core, I'll be honest, this car is incredibly fun and addicting to drive. I've generally enjoyed taking it out nearly every day since I've owned it, and it nails that JDM nostalgia in a modern package. One could even say that this might even become another JDM legend someday. I can definitely see it. And while I've been overly critical of this car, here's the reality. Asking over $60,000 for a new car in 2025 comes with expectations. And I think consumers deserve more, whether that's in materials, features, or overall quality. So if you're thinking about buying one of these, it's worth considering a pre-owned model or negotiating hard, because paying full price for a new Type S just doesn't line up with what the Type S offers. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, definitely feel free to leave a like and also consider subscribing. I make new car reviews like this every month, so you definitely don't want to miss them. Also, if you wish to support me beyond liking and subscribing to the channel, I recently reopened my Patreon, and from there you could actually view my videos from now moving forward ad-free. I want to say I put it at $5 a month or $3 a month. I'm still working out that, but if you want to support me, just know that my Patreon is available, and I'll leave it in the description below. Thank you in advance. This has been John with Blackbird Productions, and I'll see you in the next car review.
Let's step carefully.